Hello everybody, I'm Uncle Hans, back again to talk about Chinese characters. Now you may have seen these words around somewhere, 中国制造. In America, we have lots of stuff made in China. A few examples of the stuff we have made in China are these red hats. These are called moron hats, and we ship them to America and give them to all the morons to put on their heads so we can tell the smart ones from the dumb ones. We also, in China makes a lot of American flags these days. Now, this is kind of ridiculous. I've been wondering lately when we can move the factories to America so the Americans can start making the Chinese flags. Anyway, China makes a lot of stuff in America, even American military stuff, and they make a lot of stuff all around the world. In recent years in America, also all of the good stuff is made in China, like our cell phones and our computers and all kinds of good stuff. But that was not always true. Not long ago, like 40 years ago, everything that came from China was crap. That means garbage. That means no good. In fact, it was really only about 20 years ago that Chinese stuff began to get really good. Even in China 20 years ago, if you bought stuff, it was pretty much crap. Long time ago, though, China has always been famous for making really good stuff. We have some stuff in America called China, or it's made of porcelain, you know, like we eat off of it. So China used to make very good porcelain and other products like that, and silk. China is famous for silk, dates back hundreds of years. And China also has temples that are made of really fancy wooden fixtures and carvings and stuff. But let's look at the characters now. Okay, these are traditional characters. If we were to write it in modern Chinese, it would look like this. Now here we have the wall around the country, and the country has a king in it. These days only America has a king. A while back, about 70 years ago, they had to change this to make it into jade because China was becoming like more rich. So they put a dot here, and if you want me to explain the difference between king and jade, I can do that next time. Now this character gets simplified and it looks like this. Okay, and the last character looks like this. Now what I find interesting is this character here. Let's take a closer look at it. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen it in any dictionary? Can you find it in a dictionary? I don't think so. It used to be written like this. Now this character is pronounced wei. It's actually a modification of mu, which is wood. It has branches on the top. And before that, it was written like this. Notice that there's 3 extra dots. And before that, if we go back to the seal characters, it looked like this. And you can notice this actually looks like a tree with branches on the top and pieces of wood coming off. This is a knife. This doesn't look too much like a knife. If we go like this, it looked more like a knife. But this indicates that Chinese, very early, they made beautiful things made out of wood. Later, they kind of modified this character, put a clothing on the side, because in order to make good things, they also make good clothing. So now they make good things out of wood and good things out of fabric. Now there's another character that's very similar. It looks like this. And I want you to notice that on this side here, this is a knife, and this is also a knife. In older times, they were written basically the same. We didn't see this here. This character is the character in Chuzhong, which means junior high. It means beginning school. This means beginning. And what does it have to do with clothes? If we look at this on the side, it's the same as this thing here, but this comes from the character for clothes. And this is dao, or knife. So what does this mean? Well, when we begin to sew clothes, we first have to cut them to the right size. So this is what you do in the beginning. It means to begin, you cut the clothes, and then you make the clothes. So these are 2 characters that have to do with making stuff. So 中国制造, China is the biggest manufacturing country in the world, and you can go anywhere in the world and you can find all kinds of stuff made in China. I'm Uncle Hans. Hopefully you'll join me next time as we discuss more about Chinese characters.